Before getting to the book, I would like to tell you that I just finished reading it and decided to record my thoughts while the experience is still fresh. I started reading it almost a month ago, and from the start, I realized that it was an extremely beautiful book and that it will have many positive impacts on my life. And with this realization, I also feared that it will soon come to an end. For that reason, I read 2 pages or mostly 2 to 3 chapters at a time and placed the book aside. I kept dragging this relatively short book for an extended period of time, but fear of its end wasn't the only reason. With every passing chapter of sweet blasphemy, I got overwhelmed and needed time to recover in order to move forward. Normally, I can't cry during extremely emotional scenes, and even on funerals, I can't mourn. I couldn't even cry after watching Grave of the Fireflies. And then I was pretty certain that something is very wrong with me. But while reading the 40 Rules of Love, I lost count of the number of times I couldn't hold back my tears. I dragged this book as much as I could, reciting every word out loud, going back and pondering about various lines. As I came across a rule, I typed it on my phone one by one to the end. But still, all good things must come to an end. After a month of reading, learning, realizing, and above all, changing myself, today I'm saddened by its melancholy end. But I'm relieved in a way because I know that each time I reread it, I will uncover more than I did on my previous attempt. There is one thing that sets me off. In this spiritual journey, all the spicy, somewhat sexual encounters felt out of place. It all felt vulgar in this otherwise beautiful script. Ever since my childhood, I have been deeply interested in walking down a spiritual path. Due to my love of English literature and an interest in Sufism, I discerned certain things discussed by Elif Shafak, but only to the extent of my limited knowledge. Things like prevail over your nafs. I was 14 when I started trying to do so. Our teacher had advised us to start with small things like not eating what you want when you want it. Defeat your nafs little by little. Rid yourself of all worldly desires. But it is much harder than it sounds. We want to be rich as we believe that money is everything. It is the source of joy and respect, and it is a necessity. It's hard to concentrate on anything else if you can't even afford basic necessities of life for yourself and your family. Wealth and glamour are very seductive, and we do anything and everything in our power to achieve them, even if it means stealing money that was meant for others. The corruption starts with us and affects everyone because one is all and all is one. Isn't this the gist of one of the 40 rules? At different places, I noticed how the author had managed to use the translations from verses of Quran, like hold on to the rope of God together and do not become divided. وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. And near the end, Shams says they are plotting and God is the greatest plotter. وَمَكَرُوا وَمَكَرَ اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. And while Shams is debating, he points out that the religion has been completed. اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي ورضيت لكم الإسلام دينا. And then there's talk of dying before death. موتوا قبل أن تموتوا. It's a hadith. But due to my limited knowledge and understanding, I could only grasp a few things like the 3 stages of nafs and how they were related to the 7 maqamat on the path to truth. This book guided me to a deep sense of self-reflection, my various flaws and virtues alike. Aside from women empowerment, I thought we can all improve on judging ourselves and not others. The greater jihad is the one against our nafs. Jihad-e Akbar is jihad bin nafs. The part about unlearning what we already know hit me hard. It is extremely difficult to discard your knowledge in order to learn it again differently. We live our entire lives according to our predefined values and norms. To discard all that is equivalent to discarding your entire existence. But since that is the main purpose, it is crucial to forget and learn everything anew. The difference between loneliness and solitude was very important to note. Shams wanted to meet his companion who had everything but still felt alone. But Baba Zaman was delaying this fateful encounter, and Shams, instead of losing his patience, stayed pleased and chose to wait. Here I observed two things. One, that he wasn't content but pleased in the condition his Lord put him in. And second, that he chose to remain patient, as Quran says on various occasions, Inna Allaha ma'as sabirin. Without a doubt, Allah is with the patient. Along with many sweet blasphemies, the one about loving God for the sake of loving got to me the most. Sham said that if it were up to him, he would have cooled hell and set the heaven ablaze to urge people towards pure divine love without the fear of hell or the desire of heaven. And that both of them exist in this very moment. It all depends upon the condition of our hearts. I hope God softens us and opens our hearts to the light of His love, illuminating every dark corner and removing the idols of wealth, reputation, and worldly possessions, and help us find our companion, because apparently only in another person's heart can we truly see ourselves and the presence of God within us. You are a true guide, O Lord. Keep us on the right path.